Hello, my feral friends. Today's video is going to be, once again, a little different. We're trying out a lot of new things over here on the channel, okay? It's gonna be fun. Just bear with me, all right? We're experimenting. All good things start with taking a little chance, right? So today is going to be more of a craft. It's going to kind of be a DIY, but we're going to be talking about how you can tea stain pages for your book of shadows or bullet journal or whatever kind of craft you want to make. For me personally, these will be going in my book of shadows. So I will maybe eventually be giving you guys a tour of that one day. But for now, I'm just going to teach you guys how to make some cool aged paper for you to use in your creative project or in your witchcraft practice. So grab your cozy beverage, get your note-taking implements, and let's get started. The items that you'll need for this project are a teapot or other safe water heating vessel, tea packets of choice. I'm using the cheapy ones for this, not the ones I typically drink. Your paper that you'd like to tea stain, and an oven. Yeah. Let's go ahead and preheat that oven to 275 degrees. I'm going to set my teapot to boil. And then go ahead and prep my tea bags to be steeped. I have an electric kettle, so it just takes a couple minutes. Next, I am placing my pages in just some high-edged containers. These happen to be oven safe. They don't necessarily need to be, but you just want like a nice high edge so that way the tea won't make a mess when you pour it into the container. Now that the water is ready, let's go ahead and start our tea. It doesn't really matter how long we're going to be steeping the tea for the purposes of this craft today. We're mostly just wanting it to get to a nice dark coloration. So this is going to vary depending on the number of tea bags, the size of your vessel that you're steeping them in, and how long you let it sit. Once you get a nice dark coloration, it's time to pour it onto your paper. Now my glass vessel is very hot. You can see the steam coming up here over the pages, and I'm just pouring it over, completely submerging the pages as much as is possible with the air vessels. And then I'm pushing it down with a spoon just to try and submerge the paper as much as possible. The most paper that's covered by the tea, the better. And here I'm layering stacks of paper. Just keep in mind that the more paper that you put in a stack, the lighter the coloration will be. Generally speaking, the page that's on top, or the one that's getting the tea poured on it, will be the darkest page of the bunch. So use this to determine how dark you want your pages to be, or the kind of variation that you're going to want in your pages. I personally like to have a mix. I like to have a lot of uniform pages and then a couple really darker pages to kind of use as like title pages or chapters, sections, and things like that. I like some variation in color. So I'm doing a lot of stacks of paper. And in general, I'm going to be dyeing a lot of paper today. So you don't need to do this much at a time. You can even lay down individual sheets if you just need a couple. Feel free to make more tea as you need it. I'm just reusing my tea bags. And my oven sits on a little slant, so I like to rotate mine on occasion to make sure all edges of the paper are evenly covered. Okay, and now I'm setting a timer for 20 minutes for the pages to kind of soak in the tea. And after that's done, I'm going to remove the paper from that tea. Just make sure to try to get as much of the extra water off as much as possible if you want them to dry more quickly in the oven. Now do keep in mind, the more tea that you leave on the pages themselves, the darker the coloration will be. So use that to determine how dark you want them. And when you're ready, pop those pages in the oven. I like to set a timer for 5 minutes intervals to check the paper. It's going to take more than 5 minutes, just so you know. And in the meantime, I'm making more pages. I go through a lot of paper, you guys. When those 5-minute intervals are up, you're going to take out your pages and double check the dryness of them. Now, it's very important that before you store them, that they are completely dried. Sometimes the center of the pages won't be dry still after testing it. So here too, I'm actually moving them onto a thinner cookie sheet to help cook them more quickly and dry them more quickly. This process actually took me a lot of different tries to get the amount of paper that I have dried properly and with the right variety of patterns and coloration that I was looking for. You can see here too that sometimes they will start peeling up at the edges a little bit. I have some fermentation weights that I'm actually going to use to weigh them down, but use whatever you have that is heat safe. You can really see here too how like the top part of the paper is a lot darker than the colors of the papers beneath. So here I'm actually squeezing the last of those tea packets on to just kind of add some variation, add some extra colors, and then I'll bake it with this fresh tea on it. It should retain the colorations in the spots where I'm dripping this tea. So do whatever you want for the coloration that you desire. You can even pour extra tea on it at this moment and bake it with like a light layer of tea, and that will give it that nice dark coloration if that's what you're looking for. Wow, look at this. I'm totally a professional. Great camera angle. And that's pretty much the entire process. Feel free to repeat the last couple steps, the baking and adding additional color, as you see fit. And here is our final product. Look at these beautiful pages. I just love how they came out, all the different variation. I love the soft, subtle texture to them. They do feel a little stiff, so just keep that in mind. A lot of that might vary as well depending on the type of paper that you're using. Mine is just cheap office paper. So yeah, I really love this one particular page. Some of them have a nice dark edge around them. Yeah, I'm really happy with the variety, and I hope you are too. Oh, I can't wait to use these pages. Yes. I hope you guys enjoyed this little tutorial about how to make your own tea-stained paper for your Book of Shadows or whatever creative project you'd like. I really love the look of this paper, and I hope you do as well. I can't wait to start decorating my new Grimoire pages. I might have a problem, but it's fine, right? It's fine, it's fine. Stay tuned for upcoming videos about Book of Shadows or Grimoires, and of course hit that subscribe button if you want to make sure you don't miss those. Thank you again for being here. I really appreciate you, and until I see you next time, stay wild.